In the academic module reading, there are three reading passages and each consisting of 13 questions. That is, there are three reading passages and each consists of 13 questions. And the total number of questions, sorry, is 40. Like listening, you have 40 questions in the reading also. And the first passage is difficult, and the second passage is not easy but more difficult, and the third passage will be the most difficult one. So the point is the difficulty increases through the passages. You understand? And these passages are articles taken from magazines, newspapers, and other academic journals. So three reading passages, 40 questions, and you'll be getting 60 minutes, that is 1 hour, to answer all the 40 questions. And remember one thing here, you do not get the 10 minutes extra that you got in the listening. In listening, 30 plus 10, that means you first write the answers in the question booklet and later you transfer the answers to the answer sheet. But in the case of reading, no extra time. Within the stipulated time, that is 60 minutes, you must write all the answers in the answer sheet itself. So there is no time. And as there is 60 minutes time, you will be getting 20 minutes each for each reading passage. So by 20 minutes, you must finish one passage. And many times students have this problem: shall we read the questions or the passage first? And personally, I would say that it is your personal choice. And sometimes it depends upon the nature of questions. For example, if it is like a specific information such as a person's name, place name, or date, reading the questions first would save you much time. That means, you read the questions and you have the questions in your mind. And then, when you read the passages, you can simply underline the answers. You get the answers very fast. And some of the time, when the difficulty increases, this may not work. You have to understand the passage. For example, questions like yes, no, not given questions, you have to understand the passage in a very comprehensive way. And if you do not understand, then your answers may go wrong. So you have to practice it, and depending upon the nature of questions, you can change whether to read the question first or the passage first. And as I told you, there are 40 questions and 3 passages, and all the questions follow any order. Yeah. For a particular section, that means maybe for first 5 questions, maybe labeling a diagram, that may be the question. So for that particular section, the questions follow a order. But again, when you start another section, you may find the answers anywhere. That means, you have to start from the beginning. So for a particular section, you will find the answers in a particular order. That means if you find the first answer, the second answer will not be before it, but only after that. And reading is not that easy. For some students, reading is very difficult because we lack reading skills, especially when we have mobile phones now. We don't read. We just simply use WhatsApp and Facebook, and our reading habit is diminishing. But here in the IELTS test, it is very important. So you have to orientate. So you have to concentrate much to get the right answer. And for concentration, you have to orientate. And what is orientation? You have to be very tied up with the reading passages. There is no distraction. That means you are all into that reading passage. And for that, what you can do, read the title, subtitles, and if there are any pictures associated with them, look at them. So titles, subtitles, and pictures, you look at them, and then you have an understanding of what the passage is all about. So you have made your relationship with the reading passage, and then nothing can distract you. Then you read the questions and you know where the answers are located. And if there is a picture, as you know, a picture worth 1,000 words. If you look at the picture, you understand. If there is a picture of some dolphins, you can understand the article is related to dolphins and sea life in general. And sometimes, you may find difficult words. Don't worry about it. Nobody knows all the words in an article. So you can guess the meaning of the words from the context, and knowing the meaning of all the words is not at all important. Knowing the meaning of the passage or a sentence or a paragraph is more important than knowing the meaning of each word in a sentence. You understand? So sometimes there may be a glossary at the end, some difficult words may be explained. So if you look at it, you can look at the glossary also, so that you can understand the meaning of those words. And there are important reading skills like skimming and scanning, which would be very useful for you when you do the reading passage, because time management is very important in reading. If you read and read and read and read, and you find answers, it's okay, but you have to do it all in a matter of 60 minutes time. So you cannot just dilly-dally with the time. So you have to know different types of reading skills. The major reading skills that you have to be aware of is skimming and scanning. So what is skimming? Skimming is like, you don't have time, but you just want to read it. You want to get an overall idea about, whatever the writer is. So, for example, you are busy in the early morning, you have to go to your university or college or your workplace, and you have a cup of tea with you, and you sit back in your chair and you have the newspaper, but you don't have enough time to read every sentence in the newspaper. So what you do? So you just, your eyes will go like in a zigzag way, right here and there. And when you find some interesting news, oh, there's something happened in Chidambaram. Okay, you look at that place alone, and it was an accident. Then you will look for any people injured. In that way, you are selecting whatever you want. That means you get an overall idea about everything, and you can focus on any important part that you want to get the details for. So this is skimming. Another example that I would like to say, you just before the examination, that tomorrow you have the examination, and today you cannot read each and every sentence of your text, right? What you do, you take the textbook and just turn the pages, and if you find something important, you just concentrate that, and again you turn the pages, and you do like that. You won't read from the first page to the last page in a detailed manner. You can't do that just before the examination. So here skimming can be useful. So in the IELTS also, you have to skim your reading passages because time management. So you can skim the passages to locate the answers and to get an overall idea of the passage. So this is skimming in a nutshell. Now let us see what is scanning. Scanning, it is done to locate a specific item such as a place name, person's name, or dates. Sometimes you are supposed to find out very specific information, like a person's name or a place name or a date for that matter, and they will be distinguished or differentiated easily from the rest of the passage, because if it is a proper noun, it starts with a capital letter, right? If it is Chidambaram, you start with Chidambaram with a capital C. So you can easily distinguish or locate Chidambaram very fast, where Lord Nataraja temple is situated. Okay, that is the question. So obviously you can guess the answer, it's a place name. So then you go and you find Chidambaram, C capital, you can easily locate that. And sometimes numbers, for example, dates, and dates are numbers, so that also can be easily differentiated from the rest of the passage, so you can easily scan for them. So that is scanning. So scanning is done when you, for example, when you search for your results. Okay, your registration number, and all the results are there in notice board. You won't read from the very beginning to the very end, right? You are just focusing only to your results, so you will just find out your marks or your results. So that is scanning. Or it's like finding out a phone number from a directory. You won't read from every page, but you select that particular page and then locate your friend's number, and then you pick that friend's telephone number. So this is scanning. And in the IELTS, yes, you can do this scanning to find out the very specific information like a person's names or a place name or date. So skimming and scanning, you have to do alternatively. Okay. For example, here, I have come up with some questions here, but as we don't have enough time, just read the first question. I will read it out for you. The first column you can see year 1845, all the years are given, and in the second column events are given, and then third column events by surnames are given. So here we will do only the first question. We can't read all these questions because of the constraints of time. So inventors by surname, event. So here the first question is, you have to find out the patent of telegraph. Who got the patent of telegraph in the year 1845? So remember, 1845 is the keyword here because you can easily locate 1845. Now I'm going to display the screen. You have to find out the answer for this question. So your question is, who got the patent of telegraph in the year 1845? The time may be 5 seconds. Okay, find out. Read this passage and find out. And tell me the answer. Oh, very good. I have got the answers here. Samuel Moore. Somebody has written Samuel Moore. Spelling mistakes. Cook and the answer is not complete. Okay, very fast. Some more answers. I'm waiting for the right answer. Good. Carry on, you will get the answer. Be very careful, this IELTS is sometimes very tricky. William Cook and Charles. That is very close, but not the answer. Oh my God, William Cook. No. You are half correct, but for half correction, there is no mark for it. You will not get any mark for that. Come on, you will get it. William Cook, Charles Wheatstone. William Cook and Charles Wheatstone, we are very close, but the answer is wrong. Cook and Charles, again, you're trying, but see, you are supposed to write the surnames only. This is the tricky part here. This is the tricky part here. William Cook and Charles Wheatstone, the answer is right, but the problem is that the instructions tell you, listen here very carefully. See. Inventors by surname. Here, look, surname here. So here, see here, inventors by their surnames you have to write. And if you write the full name, you will be penalized for that. So this is the tricky part here. You will be very eager to write the answers. Be very fast. You read it and answer. Write the answers, but your answers may go wrong because you haven't read the instructions carefully. That's why I tell you, you must read the instructions very carefully. Here, I will tell you the answer now. Some of you very close to the answer. Arrival system developed by William Cook and Charles Wheatstone. So here, William Cook, the surname is Cook, and Charles Wheatstone, the surname is Wheatstone. So the answer is Cook and Wheatstone. Oh, many of them have become very close, but unfortunately, the right answer is Cook and Wheatstone. Okay, so that is why I told you, read the instructions very carefully. Okay, here, another important, very tricky question which demands your grammatical knowledge in English. So here I have taken this from general module. Here, snake bites, warning and precautions. So here the question is, pick snake bite warning or warnings from the list. So you will find warning and precautions. Warning, something that you do after the snake bites, and precautions, that means how you can avoid snake bites. So here you find 4 points here. Like, what are the points? Do not try to catch the snake. Do not walk barefoot. Do not try to feed a snake. Keep your house premises, sorry for the spelling mistake, neat and clean. And tie about the bitten area with a piece of cloth. So what would be here the snake bite warning from the list? You have to tell me one. I have given you 5 options, and out of these 5 options, you have to pick up snake bite warnings. That means snake bites, what you do in order to, if you are bitten by a snake, not before that, not precautions. So please chat, text me. Okay, 3, 5, 3 and 5. Any other answers? 3 and 5. Any other answers? Okay, let's see. Any other answers? 2, it must be bare feet. Okay, let's see. Number 1, 1 and 3. Okay, 4, 5, 1 and 3, 1. Okay, good. You are reading it. Okay, nice. So let us discuss the answer. So let us hear. Do not try to catch the snake. Here, the tricky part is here. Do not try to catch the snake. Look at the article used here. Do not try to catch the snake. Why the definite article the is used here? Do not try to catch the snake. When you use the definite article, you are talking to a particular person. Here it is snake, a particular snake. And why the snake becomes very particular here? Do not try to catch snake because the snake has already bitten you. That is why the definite article the is used there. So the sentence can be read as, do not try to catch the snake which has already bitten you. So it is not a precaution, it becomes warning. So number 1 is a warning. It's not a precaution. And number 2, do not walk barefoot. It is a precaution. And do not try to feed a snake. A snake here, do not try to feed a snake, any snake. So that will come under precaution. And keep your houses premises neat and clean. That also precaution. And tie about the bitten area with a piece of cloth. That is also one. So 1 and 5 are the right answers. And many times you see that you're not trying to catch a snake. You think that don't try to catch snakes in general. But here, the definite article made the answers a bit tricky, and you may not get the answer because you have to read it as, or you have to understand it as, do not try to catch the snake which has already bitten you. I think it is clear now. Okay, now let's move to writing class. So we have